Hey there, baby girl. How are you today? I hope all is well and that your life is full of joy and happiness and that you are experiencing all the accomplishment that you can stand. That's the goal. We're trying to teach you how to win and succeed and how to share that victory with those that you love. Uh, Me and your mama had a little bit of an argument last night, so I figured I'd make a video about it today. Your mom and I come from two different cultures. And in her culture, it's about your name, okay? Let's just get that out there right now. It's about your name. So, when we were at the hospital, your mom, obviously, pregnancy hurts. Like, giving birth is painful. And your mom, we miscommunicated. And we both had kind of a different idea of what your name was going to be. So, Isabella Scarlett Montero Powell was essentially my decision, okay? Your mom was comfortable with it just being Isabella Scarlett Powell, but I really appreciate your mama. I think that her family is amazing. I think that her father is amazing. I think that everything about her family deserves to be honored and cherished and carried on. Okay. I also know that based in my culture that your dad's name, Powell, is the last name. In your mama's culture, the male name goes before the female name. So, according to your mom's culture, it should have been Isabella Scarlett Powell Montero. Okay, which is fine, and it's just different cultures. But in my culture, Powell is your last name, right? And especially with little girls that are eventually going to grow up and marry men of their own, then they take their husband's last name, and you drop Powell. Okay. So when I was given the opportunity to make the decision, I decided to give you two middle names, Isabella Scarlett Montero and Powell as your last name. The reason for that is because I was already fully aware of the fact that at some point in your life, Powell is going to fall off of your name. Okay? But I didn't want Montero to fall off. I didn't want your mama's family name to disappear. I actually was very adamant about making sure that as you go through life and you use your name to identify yourself to the world, that you had a name that both identified you as Latina and a name that, you know, um, just rang with family history and a, a big part of you is from. Um, so by giving you the second middle name of Montero, I made Montero a permanent part of your name. Like you have to legally go in and change that if you want to. So if you don't like it, I'm sorry. I disagree 100%. I think it's absolutely beautiful. Isabella Scarlett Montero is a beautiful name, and I think that of all of it, Powell is the ugly bits, in which you're going to get rid of eventually anyway. But your mom was upset with me because she thought it sounds ridiculous. And then I explained to her why I did it, why I made that choice, and she kind of grew to understand where I was coming from, and I think maybe appreciated a little bit. I don't know. That happened last night, so we're still figuring it out. But either way, if you ever want to know how it became Isabella Scarlett Montero Powell, that's why. I wanted Montero to have a permanence in your life so that, you know, for you to know that's a big part of who you are, for your mom to know that, she's the first of her family to ever come to the United States. If you choose to stay in the United States, then, I'd like her to have that, have that knowledge that her name, her family name is a permanency here in the United States. Also, your mama's dad, he, he had six daughters. And whenever daughters are born, the family name is lost because, obviously females take on their male husband's last names. So he's got six daughters, and his family name will ultimately be gone with him. He'll be the last person carrying the family name. His daughters are all carry that family name until they're married, and then when they're married, Montero's gone. So it kind of felt like I was doing it out of respect for him as well and giving him a little thing that, that maybe it was a gift. I don't know. I didn't really, I mean, I knew what I was doing, but I didn't overthink it. I just made the decision, and that's what it was. And I think that ultimately, I think it was something that hopefully he'll appreciate. That holy, like, Montero, the first generation of Monteros that are going to be in the United States are going to carry Montero with them to their next generation. And I hope that that means something to them. I hope it means something to their whole family. I know they're all going to think it's ridiculous at first, but hopefully, when the heart of that choice comes out and people, your your family on your mama's side really starts to understand why I did what I did, that they'll appreciate that it came from a place of love and respect and honor, not not dismissive of their culture, not trying to disrespect them in any way or any of that. It was genuinely, I felt like it was an opportunity to give permanence to the Montero name in the United States, and that's why I did it. I thought it was a special little gift that I could give to your mama's family, to you, and I love the name. So there you have it. I told your mama that if you ever start asking questions, Isabella Scarlett Montero, Paul, I don't like it, mama. That she had every right to just say, well, you're going to have to go talk to daddy about that one because I didn't do it. So I'm making this video that way I can keep my story straight in case I forget between now and then. Uh, things happen. Life changes. Yeah. I don't have a whole lot of expectation that my memory is going to last my entire lifetime, so we'll see what happens. But Papa's been dinged in the noggin a few times, and apparently when you get hit in the head enough, you are more apt to getting Alzheimer's and all these other things that lead to memory loss. It is what it is. But either way, figured I'd share that with you today, and then I'll give you a quick little update on the nature of the world that we're living in. So yesterday I told you that the coronavirus thing kicked off. That was on March 12th, so we're like 9 days. Yeah, 9 days into this deal. You are officially 2 months old today, so happy birthday, my beautiful little baby girl. Your mama shaved your head. Your mama shaved your head bald, 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 bald. You ain't got a hair on your head. When you were born, little girl, you had nice long hair. It was all like at the back. It was bald. There was some hair here. It was long hair. You literally looked like a 50-year-old man who'd been losing his hair for 20 years. And a few weeks in, I want to cut her hair and make it even. All right, baby, don't. I told your mom that. I go, don't do it. It'll grow out just fine. Just give it a chance. Give it a chance. And she kept asking me every couple of days, and I kind of figured, oh, hell, this ain't going to go away, so I'll just let her do it. Okie dokie. I didn't know what she was going to do, okay? I didn't realize that she was going to take a close trim shaver to your noggin and shave all of your head off. You officially have no hair whatsoever right now. Uh, Tu abuela cried. when your mama got on video chat and she showed your grandma what your head looked like after that, your abuela started crying right away. When she sent me a picture of it, I was working and I had my own reaction. It was definitely surprising and not expected. I didn't expect it, but there ain't nothing to get mad over. You got Papa's hair, so it'll grow back fast. But this might be the second time I'm telling you the story. I don't know. Either way, you look beautiful either way. Like, you absolutely look beautiful. I've actually grown to like it, because the male pattern baldness hairdo you had going on was starting to seem a little ridiculous. Um, you look beautiful bald. You're a beautiful bald baby girl. But daggone, she went nuts with it. Either way, that's all quarantine's fault. Your mom got bored. That's what happened, okay? I'll be honest with you. She got bored in quarantine and decided to shave your head. Damn this coronavirus. It's all the coronavirus's fault. It really is. Anyway, so 9 days into the official, lockdown, it's been a different experience. Something that definitely disrupt our lives, disrupt everybody's life. So far, they're saying that something like 500,000 people have lost their jobs. There's a bunch of economic problems involved with it. Lots of people are losing money. The economy has crashed, officially crashed. So there's a lot going on with this virus. And I mean, no matter what started this, it has definitely changed the world. So, if this is going to be one that, the pandemic to the scale of what some people are saying, where millions of people will die, that would be, I think, the worst case scenario where millions of people die. But regardless, I'm hoping and praying, and I have faith that this is just an eye-opening experience for everybody across the planet. When we get in, there's been plagues, there's been pandemics throughout history of humankind, and fortunately, humans today have lived a good long time without facing something on this scale. But it is definitely a wake-up call. Excuse me. It is definitely a wake-up call for all of us to realize, look, there are preventative things that we can do to avoid getting exposed to disease and, that kind of stuff. And, hopefully fingers crossed and prayers out there that this is not as scary as what the news is saying it is, and that this is more of a God taking a moment and saying, all right, time for y'all to learn a lesson. You need to clean your act up. You know what I mean? Some unexpected things that have come of it is that, with all the people not running around on the street and driving their cars and things like that, wildlife has come back into areas that people haven't seen wildlife in a long time. I guess in Venice, Italy, a place that I'd love to show you. It's a beautiful place, but I guess in Venice, dolphins are swimming up and down the canals, and there's plenty of fish, and the water's cleaner. And down where your mama lives in Argentina, they're seeing, wild animals running around in the inner city where they haven't been because people have been out there scaring animals off and stuff. And it's actually really cool. I would love for everybody on the planet to take this as a lesson and say, hey, look, first of all, human beings, we need to be better about being clean. We need to be better about making sure we provide clean environments, that we're dealing with clean food, just take better care of the environments that we live in and give nature an opportunity to live in those environments next to us. Animals have a wonderful ability to adapt and in most cases overcome the kinds of things that human beings panic about. And I think that it's a shame that we have separated ourselves so much from nature and so much from wildlife that we're unable to appreciate those values anymore, those values and those lessons. So, I don't know. It's going to be interesting. Papa's fixing to go into a store called Randall's here in a second, and the Randall's is at a one item per person policy. Fortunately, we're not in need of anything specific, just a couple little errands and stuff, and checking to see what's available, whatnot. But buy what I can if we need, if there's something that I see that we need, buy it. But for the most part, it's just keep on living life every day. I think one of the biggest reasons why people are so terrified of this is because they haven't come to the realization that, it's God's words that say it. Don't love life so much that you're afraid to die, because what comes next is significantly better than where you're at right now. So, have faith in God's plan for you, have faith in what comes next, and know for a fact that, clinging to your mortal coil is not going to prevent you from dying. It's just not. One of the downsides of being alive is that you will die, and it's something that we all have to come to terms with and we all have to face. And I would encourage you to realize that fact and not necessarily focus on it by any means, but keep it in the back of your mind. I watched my father die when I was a teenager, and I saw what it's like to move on to what comes next and walk through that door with courage and with confidence and with faith. And my father faced the most terrifying thing that human beings face in this life, and that's dying, without any fear. and it was definitely something to admire, and it definitely taught me a lesson on, not only how to live my life, but how to deal with that. That said, if it's tiny little precautions that you can take to avoid dying in this life, obviously take them. You can't give your gift of your joy and your happiness and your faith to the world if you die over something stupid. Okay? So be thoughtful, be concerned, take care of yourself, be clean. You know, it's important. So I'll let it be at that for today. Isabella Scarlett Montero Powell. Yeah, I love it. I think it's beautiful. I hope it don't come back to haunt me though, where somebody's end up real pissed over it, and I got to do all kinds of apologizing because it doesn't feel like something I would ever be able to conjure up an actual meaningful apology about because I'm not sorry. So anyway, I love you, baby girl. Again, I hope your life is full of joy, happiness, no stress. God didn't create you to live a life of pain and agony and stress and frustration and fear. We are all going to have those moments, but those are the moments that we reach for our faith. We talk to God, we talk to Jesus, we rely on, the Creator that loves us unconditionally and always wants the best for us. But you have to have faith that God brought you on this world to enjoy your life, to have happiness, to have joy, to spread your kindness with people around them. And always remember that your smiles, that your laughters, that you are a gift. You're a gift to your mama and dada, but you are a gift to the world as a whole too. So I love you, little girl. See you soon.